Howdy folks, Johnny Hiland here in my studio in Chatham, Virginia. And today I'm going to bring you a video on the best cables on planet Earth, and that would be Tsunami Cables. Now folks, there is something that I've been really needing to do a video on for a while, and that is cables. Because what I've grown to find is that there are a lot of guitar players out there who will buy the guitar of their dreams, like my Johnny Hiland JH6 from Kiesel Guitars, and then they'll take time and shop and find the perfect amp that marriages best with their guitar. And then they spend umpteen thousands of dollars getting the pedal board that does all of the extra ear candy that they may need for their tone. And then as they build their entire rig, they end up using crappy cables. Now folks, I'm going to be honest with you. I have had my share of going to gigs with cables that weren't so good, had them fail on me, borrow one from a guitar player or someone in the audience in Nashville that actually had an extra, and you just never know what you're getting. And to be honest with you folks, I looked at it like you go to a dealership to buy a Lamborghini and you find that there is the most gorgeous Lambo sitting there that's your favorite color, got all the specs that you want, but it doesn't have any tires on it, and if it does, it's the donut tires. You're not going to really want to buy that car. You know it's got an incredible engine in it. It's fast as grease lightning. It's the color you want, the style you want, everything about it, the interior, all of the specs of it. But yet, if it only has donut tires on it, you know, the little spare donut tires, you're not going to drive it very far. So then you kind of say, well, how good is it? And that's what's happening with a lot of guitar players that I've seen here lately have come to me for gear help and said, Johnny, I'm having troubles, brother. What do I do? And so the first thing I notice is they got a great guitar, they got a great amp, a great pedal board, but their cables are just not good. So today, folks, I want to talk to you about Tsunami Cables because I have grown to find that Tsunami Cables are the best cables on the planet. Built like tanks, will last you a very, very long time, and yet they're truly affordable. Now, folks, you can get into a Tsunami cable for about anywhere between $65 and $115, but I assure you, they're worth every penny, and that's the truth. So, before we say another word about these, let's take a closer look at some colors that I actually have, and we'll talk about the ends, the craftsmanship, and all that. So, folks, here is an up-close look at 3 awesome Tsunami cables that I actually have. And I have 2 of each of these in 20 feet lengths. And most people would say, well, Johnny, why do you need 20 feet, dude? That's an awful long cable, man, to run, a rig when you're sitting down for Facebook or you're in a session. Yeah, that's true, but when I play live, I like to kind of roam the stage a little bit, even as a blind guy. And I've always used 20-foot cables. What I want you guys to see, though, is look how awesome the braiding is on these cables. Can you guys actually see that? These cables are made so well. They have a nice texture to them that make them feel really tough, really well shielded, that offer you the absolute best tone for your money. And down at the bottom left, look at that end on that cable. That is just truly awesome. That is the actual standard Tsunami end. And what I like to do is get a 90 on one end and a straight on the other. Now, I know if you need speaker cables, you need, guitar cables, or whatever cable you may need. I'm sure Keith does all kinds of different cables. But all you have to do is check with him. Go to tsunamicables.com, ask him about what cables you may need, and he will direct you in the proper fashion. But folks, I just wanted to show you just the 3 colors that I have. And every one of these cables, the brown ones on the left are about a month old for me. Those are my newest ones that match my new Johnny Hiland signature amp made by Fat Jimmy amps. The green ones are the second set that I've had, and I've had those about 3 years. And I think those red ones I have literally had for going on 4 years now. My goodness, it's been a long time. But folks, these cables sound fantastic. and they have been on every gig I've done, every session I've done. I mean, good gracious, folks, my schedule has been right out straight. So these cables have literally taken a licking and kept on ticking. Very, very clean signal, very, very well built, and I just wanted you to get a good close-up of the cables that I use. All right, man, what incredible cables Tsunami Cables really are. They're just awesome. And I actually have to give a big thank you to TJ Armstrong, my bass player, because he was the gentleman that turned me on to Tsunami in the first place, and I'm so glad that he did. Brother TJ, I appreciate you, buddy. Now, let's talk about pedal boards for a second, because the connector cables that you use on your pedal boards are very important as well. Now, folks, as I told you, Brother Keith will do, I think he actually does pedal board customization with Tsunami Cables, and you can get him to do that for you. But he lives out in California. I live in Chatham, Virginia. There's actually quite a distance between us, and that plays a big role in me actually having my pedal boards done with Tsunami Cables. So, what do I use? What do I recommend? Well, I actually currently use Earthboard pedal boards, and Earthboards are amazing because all your pedals sit on magnetic boots. And I'm running my big board with a Voodoo Lab Pedal Power 3 Plus, and on the Earthboard 1020, which is the smaller board, I'm running their actual battery pack. But it's really important on your board that you use an isolated power supply for each individual pedal. On the Voodoo Lab, you can plug each pedal into its own isolated output. So that's important. Now, connection to all the pedals on your board. I recommend two things. Number one, if you have a great board and you're just needing some awesome cables, well, Earthboards offers these incredible little patch cables. Now I'll try to hold this up to the screen a little closer so you can see it. Really nice pancake ends, and these little cables actually are rubber coated and they're thin. So if you're trying to get your pedals close together, these are amazing little cables to have. Very well made, sound fantastic. So you can actually get these from Earthboards. Now, before I joined up with the Earthboards family several years ago, I actually found a company called Castline on the internet. And through castlineusa.com, I grew to find I could buy cables like this. Now these are actually Mogami 2524 connector cables with pancake ends. Now Castline actually does their own pancake ends. You can see the Castline logo there on them. I can actually hold that up closer so you can see it. Now I do not endorse these, folks. I actually buy them, and I buy them in bulk. You can get them in different lengths, but I love the pancake ends. I love the fact that you can get these in different lengths. And, of course, here again, if you're trying to get your pedals close together, these will allow you to do so. So, again, castlineusa.com. These are Mogami 2524s. If you buy more, you save more. Now, they also offer Mogami 2319s as well. Those are great cables, too. I actually have those as well. But the 2524s are obviously a better cable, and they sound fantastic. And they last a long time. I've had these cables for years. That's the most important thing about this, folks. You want cables that are going to stay true, give you the best optimum sound all the way through your rig, but will also last a long time. That's really, really important. So that is what I use on my pedal board. And one of these days, I'm hoping that I will get Brother Keith to redo my whole pedal board in Tsunami. But in the meantime, there are two places that you can actually get some great connector cables for your pedal boards. Folks, I can't tell you how important it is, yet again, to deck out your entire rig with the best cables you possibly can. Now, I understand, in this day and age, it's hard to afford really high-end stuff, And yeah, there are cable companies out there who cost a lot more money, but to be honest with you, I want to save money too because I'm investing in cables all the time for myself. And yes, I want to thank Keith Sticks and Tsunami Cables for endorsing me, but all of the pedal connection cables, folks, I buy myself. And yeah, I want to save money just like you. That's why I wanted to bring this video to you, because I want to save you money as well. I want to turn you on to the best products, and I want to save you money where I can. Now, folks, I appreciate you watching this video today. Make sure you take my word for it and get your rig decked out with Tsunami cables for your longer length cables, and get some Castline USA cables, or go to Earthboards and get you some of their patch cables for your boards today. Folks, I'll tell you, you would not believe the tonal difference that you will hear once you plug great cables in and throughout your entire guitar rig. It will make such a difference in clarity of tone and even noise. Like, for an example, when you actually step on a compression pedal and a dirt pedal together, if you're plugged into cheap cables, you're going to hear through your whole rig. But using great cables, that noise floor reduces exponentially. You have to keep those things in mind, and those are some of the first things you will notice if you deck out your pedal board and your longer length cables from your guitar to your board and out to your amp with the best cables on the planet. Tsunami Cables, folks, that's where you need to go. And I love each and every one of you. I'm tickled to bring this video to you, and I hope it helps. You know, I get a lot of emails from folks about different gear and what I use, and I'm always happy to bring you guys videos when I know they're going to help you. Well, folks, thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel. Just know that I could not be the artist I am today without your support, and I mean that. God bless y'all. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here real soon. Cheers.